What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back in here with one more reaction video, ladies and gentlemen. And today, I got another one from one of my favorite YouTube channels, Academy of Ideas. If you have not subscribed, you definitely need to. Very informational. And this video is titled The Nature of Creativity and the Courage to Create. As I like to say, everyone has a gift to give the world. We're all spirits encased in human flesh, trying to figure out this thing called life, and not nearly as divided as the mainstream media tries to make it seem. So if you enjoy what you hear in this video, please share far and wide.
Referring to one of the most creative individuals of all time, Sigmund Freud wrote, "The great Leonardo remained like a child for the whole of his life. Even as an adult, he continued to play, and this is why he often appeared uncanny and incomprehensible to his contemporaries." For a creative genius like Leonardo da Vinci to have been described like this by Freud is not surprising, given the remarkable creative capacity of children. Most people, unlike Da Vinci, lose these traits which promote creativity as they grow older. However, as those who have studied creativity have learned, there are ways to promote creativity, even in those who view themselves as uncreative. In this video, we will look at the nature of the creative process, and explore ideas on how to stimulate creativity in order to live a more fulfilling life. The creative process begins when an idea of something to create emerges in one's mind. Whether it be a book, a painting, a song, a software program, or a business, one often becomes overwhelmed with a sense of euphoria and motivation when they first start thinking of what they could create. Yet for many, this initial stage in the creative process is also the last. As the euphoria wears off, self-doubt and resistance sets in, as one questions whether they are even capable of such an achievement. "The poem in the head is always perfect," wrote the American poet Stanley Kunitz. "Resistance begins when you try to convert it into language."
Man, that's so true. I'm in the process of writing my book now. And a lot of ideas that come in my head when the minute you put them on paper, like, I should have wrote word this way, or I should say that way, or let me change this words. But you have to have the courage just to put it out to the world. Every human has a gift. And the dopest part about creating is you really don't have to do anything outside of give yourself time to just sit down alone. You don't have to think. You just have to sit down with a paper and a pen. It's like, damn, what I want to do. And eventually something will come to your head. Whether it takes an hour or a week or a month, something will come to you. And just try it. Don't be afraid to fail. My kids are my biggest inspiration because I look at them and see how they play. And my daughter goes to her play kitchen and say, "Daddy, you want ice cream?" And it just shows that you can come up with anything. So keep your mind sharp and understand everything you see around you started as an idea. You have that same power. You're connected to that same infinite intelligence.
Speaking of the paralyzing effects of resistance, Stephen Pressfield wrote, "Resistance cannot be seen, touched, heard, or smelled, but it can be felt. We experience it as an energy field radiating from a work in potential. It's a repelling force, it's negative. Its aim is to shove us away, distract us, prevent us from doing our work." Self-doubt and resistance, even for creative geniuses, is a normal part of the creative process. While deterring the majority of individuals from cultivating their creativeness, creative individuals are those with the courage to proceed and the strength to overcome resistance, in spite of their self-doubt. Creative individuals also display a remarkable ability to not only tolerate ambiguity and anxiety, but to accept and even embrace it. One of the foremost authorities on the psychology of creativity in the 20th century, Frank Barron, designed an experiment which displayed the extraordinary ability of creative individuals to embrace uncertainty, chaos, and anxiety. In his experiment, Barron showed Rorschach cards to two groups, a control group and a group composed of individuals judged to be exceptionally creative by their peers. Some of the cards had ordered symmetrical designs and some had chaotic and disordered designs. While the control group preferred the symmetrical cards, those in the creative group favored the chaotic designs. The conclusion of this experiment, that creative individuals prefer ambiguity and chaos to order and symmetry, validates an age-old idea. When things are too stable and rigid, there is no room for creativity. This is perhaps why many creative individuals tend to be considered psychologically unstable, yet do not wish to do away with their inner instability. They recognize their internal chaos to be essential to their creativity. It is the fuel which propels them to impose order on their world in the form of highly creative works.
I would say I became most creative when my higher self and my lower self start working together. Remember watching the old Looney Tunes and they used to have the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other? and they would go back and forth. I feel like for myself, I've learned to get everybody inside this body, mind, body, soul, all on the same path, and we walk into the same destination, the same journey. And before then, I was all over the place. I didn't have the confidence to create. I would make something and criticize myself. I would doubt it. I would go hang with friends. I would want to drink anything except facing myself and sitting alone with myself. And they say all of man's problems come because he can't sit in the room alone for 30 minutes by himself. And when I learned to start putting my thoughts on paper and get comfortable sitting in front of a camera and expressing my thoughts, it made me 10 times more creative. You know, the best thing about creativity is you can never use all of it. Because the more ideas that you come up with, the more ideas come to your head. But if you never start thinking of ideas, you never open that door for more ideas to flow in.
You must have chaos within you, wrote Nietzsche, to give birth to a dancing star. Creativity requires a deep involvement and obsession with one's work. It is becoming increasingly accepted that it is not as much natural talent that leads to creativity, but the ability to become absorbed in one's work for an extended period of time. In the words of Rollo May, absorption, being caught up in, wholly involved, and so on, are used commonly to describe the state of the artist or scientist when creating, or even the child at play. By whatever name one calls it, genuine creativity is characterized by an intensity of awareness, a heightened consciousness. It is interesting to note that while deep absorption in one's work is essential for the cultivation of creativity, it is often when one takes a break from their work that the proverbial light bulb moments strike. Mozart claimed that entire symphonies would arise preformed in his mind when traveling, going for an afternoon walk, or lying in bed. Whence and how they come, he wrote, I know not, nor can I force them. While Mozart didn't understand where these spontaneous visions emerged from, countless highly creative individuals have proposed that they arise in the unconscious dimensions of the mind.
Let me know in the comments where you guys come up with your best ideas at. I was reading a book yesterday from Neville Goddard titled Out of This World. And it talks about how everything that you manifest comes from out of this world because it's not here and then you bring it here. Another book that I had just looked up that really goes up what Nietzsche was saying was Deep Work by Newport. And he says that everybody should put a certain amount of time every day to just engage on their work and solely focus into it. But man, I have some of my best ideas when I'm taking a hot bath, when I'm in the sauna, when I'm lifting weights. Believe it or not, I don't lift weights listening to music. It's just me and my thoughts and my soul pushing through these reps, and I get a lot of good ideas as well. Playing basketball, you know, all the things where I've gotten so good at them that now I can do them in flow state. So I don't have to think. When you're a kid, you practice it and you're thinking about dribbling, thinking about passing. Okay, I want to make this shot. But once you get naturally just in the flow, I can do this with my eyes closed, then your brain frees up. But I know there's other people, like we got skateboarders, we got painters, we got so many great, talented individuals in the world. I just want to steal some ideas if you can. So let me know where you have your best thoughts at, and I can give that a try. Also, grounding. When I'm outside in nature, a lot of good thoughts run through my head.
The English poet Shelley wrote, one after another, the greatest writers, poets, and artists confirm the fact that their work comes to them from beyond the threshold of consciousness. This explains why so many creative individuals have had breakthroughs appear to them in their dreams, and how the German polymath Goethe could say of his famous novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther, I wrote the book almost unconsciously, like a sleepwalker, and was amazed when I realized what I had done. Henri Poincaré, the famous French mathematician responsible for countless discoveries, observed a regular pattern which preceded his groundbreaking illuminations. This pattern has been confirmed by countless others, and can be used by anyone to generate creative solutions to a problem or task one is grappling with. In his essay Mathematical Creation, Poincaré wrote that creative solutions to problems can be stimulated by alternating between periods of intense work and times of rest and relaxation, in which attention is diverted away from the task at hand. During periods of intense work, questions are fed to the unconscious, setting it in motion on the problem, while times of rest and relaxation provide a period of release from conscious tension, allowing unconscious insights to manifest themselves in the conscious mind.
And that's why I say everyone has to find time to just relax. Because the masses of people work a job they hate. They got family members that irritate them. They're in a situation that doesn't make them completely happy. So when they get off their 9 to 5, it's going to comfort themselves with Netflix or with drinking or with friends or social media, instead of just sitting alone and putting your feet up and just thinking, because you're trying to get all those thoughts out. But I truly believe in my heart that everyone can make time to create. You can make time to scroll Facebook. You can make time to see what's going on TikTok. You can make time to comment on somebody's status I don't like that, or you shouldn't have said that. If everyone would pay attention to themselves, the world becomes different. Every man must search his own soul and say, what am I going to leave on this world when I'm not here anymore? And the world is a big canvas. I mean, look around you. Everything you see somebody created. Go outside right now. The houses, the cars, the roads. Somebody with 2 hands, 2 feet, and a brain just like you did that. So understand you got the power to leave something behind. What do you want your legacy to be 100 years when you're no longer walking this earth?
Poincaré concluded that the appearance of sudden illumination, arising during times of rest or diversion from work, was a manifest sign of long unconscious prior work. The philosopher Bertrand Russell echoed a similar sentiment and used the technique advocated by Poincaré to assist him in his writing. In his words, "I have found, for example, that if I have to write upon some rather difficult topic, the best plan is to think about it with very great intensity, the greatest intensity of which I am capable, for a few hours or days, and at the end of that time give orders, so to speak, that the work is to proceed underground. After some months I return consciously to the topic and find that the work has been done." For many today, cultivating one's creativity is seen as a luxury, or a hobby one engages in during one's spare time. This is unfortunate for 2 reasons. Firstly, as Abraham Maslow believed, developing a deep creative capacity is necessary to achieve genuine psychological health. And secondly, as noted by Robert Greene in his book Mastery, engaging in creative work is one of the most pleasurable and satisfying endeavors possible for human beings. We are all in search of feeling more connected to reality. We indulge in drugs or alcohol, or engage in dangerous sports or risky behavior, just to wake ourselves up from the sleep of our daily existence and feel a heightened sense of connection to reality. In the end, however, the most satisfying and powerful way to feel this connection is through creative activity. Engaged in the creative process, we feel more alive than ever, because we are making something and not merely consuming, masters of the small reality we create.
And that's so true, man, because no one wants to be a consumer. That's all America has become as consumers. And I say for myself, before I was a creator, man, I was unhappy. I never have liked the jobs that I worked. Never really was into school. I always looked at life and say, man, this thing don't make sense. It has to be more to this. It has to be bigger than this. And I've learned to touch through the video game, because that's all this is a big video game. And I just hope to inspire more people to step out and follow what's truly in their heart. You don't have to stay in line and stay a part of the matrix. You can stay true to who you are on the inside, but you got to stay connected to that higher source, whatever source that may be for you. But meditation is really good. Drinking water, taking vitamins, having a proper diet, exercise. This is my philosophy that I use for myself, and I can't tell everybody to do what I do, but just try to let me know. 1 hour for reading, 1 hour for writing, 1 hour for exercise, 3 to 5 times a week. Seems extremely simple, but fit it into your life. 1 hour for reading, 1 hour for writing, 1 hour for exercise. Watch how creative you can get. Watch what you can give the world. Like, all of this sounds nuts right now until you see where I am in 10 years and 15 years. Like, man, he was really giving us the free gems on how to change your life, change your reality. Just uplift your mindset. Faith, consistency, and hard work, you can do anything. Block out the negativity of this world that wants you moving at a low vibration, that makes you feel like you can't do something, you ain't good enough. Whatever you want out here in this world, it's waiting on you. But you got to sit down and figure where it is. Because when I tell everybody to find a gift, I say, well, how you going to find something out in the world? No, the gift is already inside of you. So when I say find it, I mean find something that's already been with you since you came out your mama. Because that's what I had to do. I was walking around overlooking what my gift was. I had to find it. Stumbled, tripped, hit my face, and when I was at my lowest moment, I found my gift. And we all have the power to create, to uplift, to inspire. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Keep being an artist, keep creating, keep giving art to this world. You are limitless. You can do anything with faith, consistency, and hard work. Till next time, we out.